Alright, so folks, we've got a bit of a problem here. I've created a bit of a problem. I don't have a pot that I'm comfortable putting this. This is a very expensive specimen, so I'm just not comfortable putting this specimen in a subpar pot. So I have a perfect pot for it here, but I've put the wrong specimen in the pot. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking it out, putting it, still very fresh, putting this other tree in, or bush, or whatever you want to call it, in this pot. I'm going to, once again, we're still sort of, I think this is called Santalina, something something, Latin, not my forte, but it was a nice experience. It's all on video for you to watch. This is my moss, the homegrown, people, homegrown, right here on my land, my whole point something acres, what is this, 0.6 acres of God's finest. This thing has been wired in for the long haul.
So that's a type of lavender.
And it's called cotton lavender.
Yes.
We're just gonna undo that. We're gonna undo this.
You figured out what it was.
So there's a really cool app, hate to admit this, online, and this actually has a lot of roots too. Just put it in here. I'm willing to take chances with this, and I'm not willing to take with that, because this, I think I paid like, I don't know, $4 for this, whereas that, it was an hour of work for my wife, so I'm not willing to sacrifice. Which this has plenty of root to be trimmed off. It doesn't need all those roots, because I literally took that down to the bare bones. This is where we're going right here. Perfect. Perfect. Right there, a little rock. A little rock, she's gonna hide in there. Okay. We'll just go ahead and lasso this puppy down. Not as stable as I would like it to be. There we go. And this. There we go. Should take this sort of, put it back in here. Can't really see very well. This is gonna be a good pot for this. Good size too. It might even be bigger than where it came out of, honestly. This still needs to be cut. I'm just so hesitant to cut it because I'm once again spent so much money on it. But I shouldn't think like that. I should just think, just stick to the plan, Stan. Everything else will just work itself out. These other things, man, these $4 bangs, these free bangs, I'm just going crazy on them. Because I got nothing to lose. Where's this one? I got a lot to lose. I got snow. Snow was sold to the Eskimos. So when you're surrounded by snow, you don't want to lose your snow. Don't know any better. All right, so we've got the dirt in there. I'm looking for my little paintbrush. It's right here. You can kind of tease out all the little air pockets in there where the soil is not all completely penetrated down in there. But we've sort of put it in a already I already did this to this pot, so it's already very well compacted in here. So I think that's good. Alright, so what we're gonna do next is I'm just gonna set this aside. That's where we're gonna start. Right there. I'm gonna figure out what to do with this puppy right here. So I'm gonna we're gonna trim some of these roots off. Doesn't need all these roots. This is literally 1/8 of the tree that it was before we started this operation. Just gonna kind of. This would actually be good for the little white pot. We're gonna try it, folks. We're gonna try it. If we need to get some more of this soil off, we can. Doesn't have to have all this under here. This one's super easy to work with as opposed to the azaleas, so this is really not a huge to do, but I would really like to try to put it into that white pot. That would be just great. Let's just try it and see what happens here. Yeah, I think that would. What do you think?
I think the weight of the rocks would kind of
I mean, I can.
help it.
I mean, it just needs to be loosened up a little bit more here. Oh, this thing can come way down. I think you're really gonna like this new dish, Mr. Tree, or Mrs. Tree.
That's Dr. Seuss tree.
This is the Dr. Seuss tree.
That's gotta be a he.
Santa Elena.
Well, that's true. That's the. We gotta have to pick one: Santa Lena or Dr. Seuss.
No, Santa Elena is its
I know that's her.
Latin name.
Yes.
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. But
I don't even know if it's Santa
we don't even know
Lena.
if it is a Santa.
I think we
Elena.
made
Could
it
be
up.
poison ivy, like I said earlier. But who cares? I'm obviously immune to whatever poisons this thing carries. Actually, just as an educational point, this particular plant is widely used by many cultures as far back as the Greeks were using it as sort of a salve. The leaves, you would sort of mortar and pestle them into sort of a topical solution, and they would use it for like as an anti-inflammatory agent for their eyes, for their skin, muscle aches, sort of like Voltaren gel or something like that. But apparently it has these properties. So if I ever get an ache like I have in my shoulder right now from doing all these things I'm doing, I might actually. I found a rabbit foot in this one too. We're gonna just deliver this plant from this rabbit foot here. Just gonna kind of throw us off. Yeah. There we go. Still. This particular pot only has one hole in it, so it's not obviously it's not a true. Maybe it's a succulent pot. To be honest with you, it's not obviously not a true bonsai pot. Does that one have more than one hole?
That has two.
Yeah, but it's too small. Might just end up putting it in there. But
What about this one, the brown one?
that's what I'm saying.
It is a little deeper for sure.
Yeah, it's just gonna go in there. We'll kind of put it to the side, like that. I don't know how we want to orient it, like this. Yeah, like that. So we'll just put it in like that.
That looks good.
So, sorry, pot, we'll find you suitable recipient here soon. Oh, my moss. I'm gonna put my moss over here. That's good. Alright. We're going to put a little bit of soil in here. And actually can wire this up because it has 2 holes. So I'm gonna use some of this wire over here. This is the food. Apparently, it's pretty good. Good food. Let's see if this will work because my binding wire. So yeah, I ordered this on Amazon. Don't do it. Order it from me. You don't want to get ripped off. That'll work. Got these nice little clippers. Hopefully they work. They work pretty good. This must be like aluminum. I think it's aluminum wire. That's what they said. But it's like covered in something. Some sort of rubber coating or whatever. Anyway, so what you do is you have the pot right here. It's got 2 holes in the bottom. Put this through the hole. Like up here, and you put this through this hole. Like that. So that way you can tie it down when it's time. We're going to put a little bit of the good stuff in here. And we're going to put a little bit of that. So apparently, as far as the food that I bought, you're supposed to put 1/4 of a teaspoon of the pellets for every 2 inches in diameter of the pot. And I want to say this is a 6-inch. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches. So 2, 4, 6, 3. So it's about 3/4 of a teaspoon of the food. So I'm just gonna eyeball it like every chef would. What chef would actually go get a teaspoon? Not me. That looks like it to me. We're just gonna kind of, you want to evenly spread around right there. This stuff's the good stuff right here, $1 Amazon stuff. And so we're gonna put this in here and tuck those little Rudies in there. They're gonna find their little homes inside of here. This is enough food to feed this thing for a year, by the way. So don't think that we're packing it in an area that's without the appropriate nutrients, because it's not. It's definitely got everything you need inside of here. So we're just going to wrap this up here. Okay, this one, this one. Put a, this is a piece of petrified wood that's obviously too big, but we're gonna just pack this in here real quick. Use this soil here. What we want is just eventually the roots will establish themselves within the pot, and you know, you won't be so worried about kind of its position. Just don't want to forget that there's wires in there, because eventually we hope the tree will grow and mature, and over time we'll need to get those wires removed, otherwise they'll choke it out. I don't want that. That. So just sort of going through, and we're going to take our little paintbrush and we're going to Check it for. Oops, mess with my. Check it for little air pockets. Once again, it's got its food in there. We just made sure of that. It's on camera for everyone to see. There we go. So there's definitely an air pocket there. I could feel it with my finger. We're gonna fill it up with the good stuff. Just keep it going. Now we're gonna have to sculpt that azalea a little better. It sort of just looks like a bush that was put in a pot, which is not the look that I'm going for, even if it was a $60 bush in a pot. I guess it makes it even more expensive because the pot costs something. It was like $8 or whatever. So
We gotta go back and get the bigger ones.
we're gonna go get a pot big enough to bury us all in it when we're dead. Sarcophagus-sized pots. Those things were amazing. So anyway, so I think this is enough dirt in here. I really love moss, so I'm just gonna go get some real quick. I think moss and plants have like such a beautiful relationship. I'm just gonna kind of tuck it. It's like a blanket for a baby. You know? You put that moss on there, it's just sort of like a blanket for a baby. Doesn't it look good? Alright, so put that over here. Apologize for my mess. I'm usually not a very messy person. All my years of compounding and dealing with humans. I'm just gonna take a second and clean my workspace because a dirty workspace is not conducive to the good flow of the creative juices. So we're gonna just take a minute and clean our space and kind of start fresh.